Oh my God.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome to the 7 o'clock talk. We're old school, handheld, all that jazz tonight because I am running late. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit of old school physical diagnosis and just tell you that if you see something like this, there's a problem. Um, and I don't know how else to say it. Let's switch this camera around here. I don't know that I know how to do that. Not on there anyway. More. Nope. And camera. Nope, that just turned it off. Well, got to go old school this way. Can. Oh, man, I really got not good at that. So if you look at his tongue and you see all of those splits and cracks and grooves around the outside, one of the things that they taught us in the Institute for Functional Medicine was when you see something like that, then the gut associated lymphoid tissue is actually breaking down. So your gut and your alimentary tract starts at the mouth and goes all the way down through the anus. And his tongue, the tongue is part of that. And what you're seeing there is that is breaking down. So if your tongue is breaking down, your gut is breaking down. And you got to take care of that. That can be associated with syphilis. I mean, you have to do some diagnostic searching there. There's nothing that points to that other than this, but that white film. I mean, that's typically associated with candida. And how old do you think that gentleman is?
I don't know. I dare to guess anymore.
Just take a stab.
Well, I'm gonna say he's in his 20s or early 30s due to the piercing.
He is 25, and his tongue is breaking down like that, and he presents with back pain. So here are some things to think about. His ranges of motion actually aren't that bad. And so your body has multiple ways of taking insults, but it only has so many ways it can express things. And so when I'm speaking to him, his pain is all over his back. It's not just his low back, but right now it's in his low back and radiating down his left leg. So we are going to have to get in there and we're going to have to start to heal his gut. The adjusting, the chiropractic, is going to actually start to um, alleviate the disc herniation because he wakes up. So here's a little hint about things for chiropractic. If you are laying down and you wake up in the morning, and the first thing in the morning you wake up and your back hurts, and it takes 10 to 15 minutes. Hi, Kath. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to get going. Then the disc is swelling and there's a herniation because in the morning when you wake up, that's when you've absorbed the most fluid into the disc and the disc is at its thickest. And when that happens, that disc, and you stand up, gravity starts to act on that. It squishes the disc and it causes a protrusion or a herniation. And this gentleman experiences that. There's only three things that break a body down: stress, food, and inflammation. And he seems to be he's definitely having some inflammation. As I was talking about on the little quick note that I made on the way home, um, he's a painter by trade, and he's only been painting about a year. And if you look at that tongue again, you see how clear the lines are, how delineated this is. That delineation, that's fresh. If you look at my tongue, and I used to have those, but it's not quite as bad. Uh oh, you need some help. The T's being the troublesome.
Usually I can get them open, but I couldn't get them.
Oh, she was determined. She called on that mom strength. It's going to happen. So anyway, but I've taken time to actually heal my tongue, and I've been active with healing my gut. And if you heal the gut, you heal the tongue. And that's why you don't see those, it looks like fresh cuts in there. But I mean, how much, I mean, we see inflammation all the time, and we're seeing younger and younger. How many 20-year-olds have we had lately with all kinds of just weird inflammation?
3 or 4.
And so in the last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of our new patients, we've had several that we have gone in and not only recommended the chiropractic track for, but the functional medicine and the IVs to help bring those nutrients back into the system so that this can heal. This could be associated with hypochlorhydria. It could be associated with having pancreatic enzymes that are weak. And so, I mean, get a good look at that and look at your own tongue. And if you see those types of things on your own tongue, you know, you're absolutely starting to see yourself break down from the inside out, literally. And this gentleman, when taking his history, his family has all kinds of autoimmune diseases that start after the age 25, 30 years of age. And that's how a lot of autoimmune diseases start. They don't start at birth. It takes time to break the DNA down. In functional medicine, we say you're an expression of your genetics up to age 25. And then after age 25, you're an expression of what you have done to your genetics. But it's all an epigenetic trigger, and you can turn that trigger back off. And we've seen that multiple times now. Most profound lately was a lady getting ready to go on immunosuppressives. And she started doing what we had guided her to do. And her pulmonologist was like, all good, no immunosuppressives. So, and I wanted to take a second. That's one of the ugliest tongues I've seen in somebody that young. I don't usually see that much breakdown in a tongue until somebody is, 40, 50 years old of a hard life. And, he's not a drinker. He doesn't drink alcohol, but he drinks Gatorade, fructose, which acts like alcohol in the gut. He drinks a lot of fruit juice, which is fructose, which acts like alcohol in the liver. And so you just can't, we've been led to believe a lot of hooey. So if you see something like that, call in, get a hold of Jessica, start rebuilding your gut with some IVs, and get a hold of me, and we'll start doing some testing and start to reverse these types of things, because nobody should have to live with that. And not only live with that, but if that's not taken care of, that only gets worse. And it starts to express in different ways. And medically, they can't do anything about that tongue. But if he starts to have Crohn's, if he starts to have GI issues, if he starts to have things of that nature, it's just going to continue. And they're going to give you whatever they give you. Typically, they start with acid blockers, and then they start with going down the path towards PPIs. And the body just figures out some other way to express, hey, you didn't get rid of the root cause. It's still here, and now I have this. And that's when you feel like you're playing whack-a-mole with your symptoms. So you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you.